I will go live on my stream once it's live on Riverside, which we're trying tonight. Okay, so we're on your Keto Pro one, and we're definitely live. So I will just do my introduction to Richard Smith, who is the UK's top nutritionist, I believe, and also MBMA.
Complete with a drum roll. Boys and the toys.
Yes. What does it stand for?
So I missed that then. I was just checking the feed on YouTube. Apologies.
Right.
What was that?
That's okay. Is it working on YouTube?
Yes. Obviously, this is the first time that we're trying the Riverside software, isn't it? So it's just playing with it and making sure that it's all live. We are live. Yeah. The image this end doesn't look brilliant, but it looks a lot better in person. So maybe I'll clear up as it. Yeah. But yeah, all good. We're live.
Yes, it is. It is fabulous. And then over on YouTube, what happens is like a sort of 30-second delay. I don't know why that is, but the chat will start coming through from your channel. And I've got some questions here, by the way, which I think is really great. You can delay ads for 10 minutes and all this is saying, right, so there's loads of chat. I'll read it. Wow, there's loads of questions. Hello, gentlemen. I've really been enjoying your content recently, and thank you for introducing us to Dr. Abs. It was so helpful. Everyone, don't forget to come in to close the chat briefly and click the like button. That's good. Is there a strong association between LPA2 activity test and heart disease? It's purported to show inflammation in blood vessels. Was wondering how strong the association actually is with CV. That's from Matthew. So Matthew, I don't know how to actually show your chat, by the way, but I will tell you that LPA2 is the enzyme that degrades oxidized LDL. And when you've got high levels of oxidized LDL, and this is where the mainstream is a little bit naff, not doing joined up thinking, they will see that there's a high level of LPA2. So it does actually degrade the. I think actually you're thinking about PLA2. That's what I think. But it could be you're looking at LPA or LP little a. I don't know from the question, because PLA2 is a can't really see where the 2 is coming in. Well, why is it LPA2 in your opinion?
I took it as LP little a. I would have read that as, I think. I may be wrong. But yeah, there's a lot of talk with LP little a currently, which is something we covered with Dr. Avadia, wasn't it, during the 24-hour live? That was one of my questions.
Yeah, I think the 2 is thrown me because PLA2, plaque 2, is phospholipase A2, is the enzyme that will actually degrade oxidized LDL. So I think Matthew, if you could just clarify what you're talking about, that would be great. He's also asking, does more surface area of your body being grounded increase the effect? Perhaps more electrons entering the body. Basically, does using more than one grounding device increase the effect or not?
Oh, do you know what? A fab question. I don't know, is the answer. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's my understanding of the mechanism is that it needs to travel through the body. So I should imagine that maybe if more of your body was in contact, that the effect would be less, perhaps, because it's not creating that circuit. Maybe that would be my theory, but to be honest, that's a great question, and it's one I do not know the answer to, which doesn't happen often, Steve.
No, and I think I just suppose speculating it would improve the anti-inflammatory effect, because what you're doing is you're allowing electrons to enter your body. So if you have more surface area, I think you would find that you would get more benefit from it. It would confer more benefit, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's, for me, my thinking is that the effect would be less, but it's, yeah, I don't know. One to look into.
Yeah, right. Okay. Let's have a look.
Yeah, these questions are tough on this because we can't see these on the screen either, and I haven't got access on Riverside to the questions.
Ah,
So
right.
I'm trying to find them on your channel. But yeah. Anyway, we'll persevere.
Yes, I've got them on my YouTube. So I've got two tabs open. I've got Riverside open and I've got YouTube open, and I'm looking at the top chats on YouTube. So it's not as slick as StreamYard so far, but we'll persevere, I think. I mean, if you are talking about LPA2, by the way, then that could be something that you are actually genuinely talking about. And that moves into cellular calcium ions, by the way. But anyway, it's not normally associated with cardiovascular disease. Right. Well, no one is spending the money for grounded carpet, but it does exist. A grounded carpet exists. Right, here's a question. Hello, gentlemen. I have a stinking cold at the moment. Is there anything different I should do to combat it?
With a cold, look, there's a lot going around in regards to what we should and shouldn't do when we get a cold. For me, I would increase my fat consumption. I would try to eat more. What's the old saying, the old wives' tale? Starve a virus and feed a cold. The whole vitamin C, I'm not sold on. I think there's an upper limit to the amount of vitamin C, and too much vitamin C can become toxic. That's not to say that it doesn't confer a benefit. But for me, when I start to feel poorly, then I just eat more fat from my animal proteins, but I make sure that I consume more fat. Cholesterol goes to work when we're not well. And this is one of the main jobs of cholesterol, is to help combat and fight viruses, infections, and so on and so forth. So for me, and quite often when you do get a cold, I don't know about anybody else, but I feel and I crave for more fat, especially from like chicken and pork for some reason. And I think that's purely, I don't think that's anything to do with, I'm not saying chicken and pork is going to be more beneficial, but I think it's easier to find, especially the fat on pork. But as we know from previous lives, you and I preference lamb. Lamb fat is a big win for me, and this is something that I get in abundance from my butcher. Most places will cut off additional fat, and this is something that I get from my butcher for free. I make little fat chips. Well, small screen. How are we doing, Heather? I'm Ben. Good.
We have Heather and Ben in the studio, and Heather and Ben are going to talk a little bit about the keto brain health, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's an issue our end, guys, because we're trying new software. So the screen is a little bit smaller and zoomed in. So you just have to huddle a little bit closer together, unfortunately.
Okay. No worries.
We blame Stephen. It's Stephen's software.
It is my fault. It is, absolutely.
Are we both doing?
Thank you.
You good? Good. Excellent. Thanks for coming on. I thought we'd take this opportunity. There's a fantastic event coming up shortly on the 19th of October. Would you guys like to take an opportunity to tell us a little bit about that event?
Yeah, so it's the Keto Brain Health Conference. It's a one-day conference. It's in Manchester on Saturday, the 19th of October, which is just under 3 weeks away now. We're all very excited. We've got, obviously, Richard Smith presenting there. And some amazing names. So the idea of this is not an academic, scientific type of conference like most of these seem to be in that space, but it's for everybody. It's for the general public to hear facts about ketogenic diet, how it can protect your brain health, your mental health, and help you to manage, halt, reverse, treat all kinds of mental health issues as well. So yeah, we've got an amazing lineup. I'll run through who we've got. The amazing Zoe Harcombe that we all adore. Who's going to be talking about blowing up the myths about fat. And I'm sure most of the audience listening to this aren't going to need to dispel the myth that fat's so bad for you and unhealthy. But yeah, Zoe is one of the arch clarifiers out there. You know, she goes out slaying dragons. She's not afraid of anything really. And yeah, Rich is going to be up after that. Then we've got a panel with a few people, including Heather and Kai Jennings as well, who've used ketogenic diets to reverse their own conditions. And then after lunch, we've got lunch, keto lunch provided for everyone, whether that's carnivore keto, omnivore, vegetarian, or vegan keto. So if there's any vegans listening tonight, then you're welcome as well. And then, yeah, after lunch, we've got Dr. Rachel Brown, the UK's first
psychiatrist.
Yeah. She's actually a consultant psychiatrist working in the NHS. She's using ketogenic approaches, metabolic approaches, diet, lifestyle fixes, basically to get people off drugs. So she's going to be talking about the pharmaceuticals when they help, when they harm. And after that, very excited also to have Ivor Cummins coming over from Ireland to join us. And what is he? Biochemical engineer by training. But he when he turns his intellect to a problem, he uses his analytical skills, and my goodness. So he's looked at lots of things around the response to COVID, but before that, he really blew up the whole statin myth as well. So he's going to be talking about the link between statins and cognitive decline. Is it real? Or is it not real? So, and then of course, finally, Dr. Anthony Chafee is going to be giving us the whole perspective on what brain health really looks like from a neurosurgical perspective as well. So I think we've got most of the bases covered there.
Fantastic. Brilliant stuff. Super excited. And how many days I've got this constantly open on the screen next to me. So we're 19 days and 14 hours and 47 minutes and counting. So cannot wait. Cannot wait. Super excited. Steve, are you looking forward?
I am. Yeah, I am. I think it's going to be really exciting to sort of see all those people in the room. Zoe and Ivor in the same room is quite a coup for Heather and Ben there. I think getting those two. Obviously, Dr. Rachel Brown. Well, actually, all the guests. It's just going to be brilliant. So yeah, Manchester. So nice, easy place to get to. I've never been to this monastery place, so I'm looking forward to seeing the venue. I think one of the things that we forget about these conferences is it's a day out, you know, and you see these lovely places. You can mingle with like-minded people, and I just feel those sort of things are underestimated. Yeah, it's good to know who's speaking, but also, you know, I think you or Richard said at the Carnivore conference, who feels a bit weird with the way they're eating, and a few hands went up. I think 90% of the hands went up. It's nice to know that there are like-minded people out there. And yeah, we're all weird together. So I think just those things, I think it's going to be great, actually. Really looking forward to it.
I think it's a very good point, Stephen. At the last conference we were all at, a couple of people said to me that they were so chuffed to meet like-minded people because they hadn't told anyone that they had changed their diet, because too many people have an opinion. It makes you feel you shouldn't have changed your diet. So to come to a conference and meet people that are trying the same journey as you are, I think it makes it supportive and more real and exciting to know you're not actually alone.
And then taking responsibility for your own mental health as well, because if you trust the dietary guidelines, if you trust your GP and psychiatrists, then well, just look around you at what's going on. The world is suffering an absolute catastrophic decline in mental health. We've got ADHD and all kinds of dementia go through the roof. It's literally every mental health condition that we could talk about is there. And this is why I remember suggesting to Heather, because Heather is like the arch self-experimenter with how her brain works.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things that somebody said in one of the comments, why are we saying mental health when it's actually mental issues rather than mental health? But I think it's nice to think we can improve people's health. I understand why someone has put that in the comments, that, you know, we're talking about issues, but it's sort of quibbling over terminology, really. We are definitely going to be speaking about issues that people have, but what practical things we can do. So I just wanted to say that to the people in the comments, or one of the comments there, that, yeah, that's come up a couple of times in some of the videos I've done, where that's the way of the world. Terminology changes all the time, and you know, you have to just look at how you promote something, because it's the positive side. The takeaways are going to be what you can do with the advice, and it's going to improve your mental issues. So it's going to give you good mental health or brain health, or however you want to word it. I just think, I just wanted to clarify that. So keto brain health says it all, doesn't it? It says, you know, it's about nutrition, it's about your brain, and it's getting it healthy. So
I think the thing, Stephen, because isn't that I'm so passionate about ketogenic diet, no matter what your diet of choice is. Because for me, when I eat a high-fat diet, I feel amazing. When I eat like dark chocolate, I become stressed, I become anxious, and everyone says it's a superfood. But clearly for me, I perceive it as my mental health, mental issues, however you want to say it, gets drastically affected when I eat the wrong foods for me. So that's why we chose the words keto brain health, because bringing this from perspective of what we feel has really benefited myself and many other people in this space.
Yeah. I mean,
Yes.
we want people to walk out feeling not completely like they've been drinking from the fire hose with information, as you can get with certain conferences, but we want you to come out with some real practical things that you can apply in your own life. But more than that, probably the confidence that, don't worry, you're on a good path, and there is actually there's a lot of evidence behind this diet. You know, Heather often says it's been treating epilepsy for 100 years. You know, there's not an awful lot of scientific research out there, because most of the scientific research, academic research, is funded either by governments or the food sector or the pharmaceutical sector. And the sad truth is that these even public bodies are not even interested in natural, preventative, metabolic and lifestyle solutions. They're interested in pharmaceutical, because that's unfortunately where the money is, and that's the money that gets people elected as well.
Yeah, spot on. I know you guys there mentioned about feeling alone and bringing people together. But, you know, I think my take on this event is going to be that it's open to absolutely everyone. You know, we've recently done the Carnivore conference, and carnivore is probably a niche within a niche. And many of us who live a carnivore lifestyle will feel that way. But this is quite literally open to absolutely everybody who feels that they suffer with any sort of problem, health-related or mental or other, because health and well-being does come hand in hand with living a ketogenic lifestyle. But for me, I think if you want to learn more, then come to this conference. If you have a family member who suffers with dementia, for example, come to this conference. If you know a friend who suffers with depression, anxiety, or whatever it may be, then invite them to this conference. If you know everything that is to know, but your friends don't, and they're sort of on the fence, then gift it to them. Buy them a ticket and gift them a ticket to come to this conference, because I think this is going to be absolutely life-changing for anyone who doesn't know how the ketogenic lifestyle works. This isn't a fad. This isn't something that is has popped up from nowhere. This is our evolutionary appropriate lifestyle. We've lived this way our entire existence, and it's only since the introduction of modern farming and grains and so on and so forth and cultivation have we come away from being ketogenic. So this isn't a fad. It's not a scary word. It's not dangerous. In fact, I would...
Your mental
that scared
health.
me also. But look,
Hey,
the long and the short for me is this is definitely one not to be missed. I think, where are you going to get the caliber of speakers in regards of Zoe Harcoom and Ivor Cummins and Rachel Brown and Anthony Chiffey all under one roof? And I think these things don't come along every day. So it's a one-day event. It's unlike the Carnivore conference that you needed to find accommodation and maybe travel back and forth for. I think this is super accessible. It's in Manchester, so there's easy links to get there. Don't miss out. Definitely one not to be missed.
I was going to say, Richard, every single person we approached was delighted to be part of it because they understand the importance. So we feel very, very fortunate that everyone is coming because they want to help the layperson. They want to help everyone, like you said, who they don't know the science, they don't know the research, and they want to come away with tips and tricks to get themselves going or get their family members going.
Yeah, fantastic.
How many of us haven't been affected by depression? Never mind the other kind of diagnoses that you can get. Most of us have been directly affected. Practically everyone has got a loved one who's been affected by this. But even if you didn't, and what we're also talking about is we're looking towards older age. And if people have this idea that, you get dementia when you get older, it's just something that happens. I don't think that's true. It doesn't have to be that way. So we can start to apply this from an exclusively preventative perspective as well. You don't need to be suffering with any kind of mental health issue diagnosed right now to get a massive amount of value. We think everybody should have access to this knowledge. What you do with it, then completely your choice. But yeah, come along, find out, get informed, meet other people. We're so excited. We can't wait for today.
Yeah, me too. And I completely agree with what you've just said in regards to dementia. I've done a number of podcasts with world-leading experts on dementia, and it's at least 99% preventable, according to the data. So it's this is driven by diet and lifestyle. It's genetics plays a role, but as you guys know from the talk that I gave in the CC, epigenetics has a big part to play. And I think this is something that we can get into on the lives at a later date. But yeah, dementia, depression, anxiety, and those are things that I'll be speaking about, depression, anxiety, because this is something that I suffered with severely. So I can attest to all of these things, these tips and tricks that the guys are going to bring. They work. They're life-changing, and there's no going back for me. I think once you see the light, there's no unseeing it. You can't put that jack back into the box when it comes to the keto lifestyle. But yeah, I'm super excited, and I'm honoured to be speaking there, and I absolutely cannot wait.
It's going to be brilliant.
It is going to be fantastic.
Right. What I'm going to say is, Richard, and to everybody that's commenting on the video quality and the sound, I'm going to dump Riverside and we're going to set up the live stream on YouTube using our old software. So we're going to go off and we're going to come back in about 5 minutes on YouTube. Unless you've got more you want to quickly add, Ben and Heather.
Thanks for having us on, guys. Let's see you soon.
Fantastic. I will give this another mention when we get the picture and audio working correctly.
Yes.
But
yes.
Yeah.
We have
Thank
to
you
try
both.
these things. Right.
Yeah. Don't know until it's right. Thank you both. Take care,
Thank you.
and we will speak to you soon.
So we've had a couple of super chats. So let me just tell you, Gaza, you've got fat loss plateau since a tick bite. Also have light chain cirrhosis. Could inflammation be scuppering my progress? Which we'll talk about when we get onto the other live, which we'll do very quickly. And Sherry Morgan says, do you know of a continuous keto monitor that will ship to the USA? A continuous keto monitor? No, I don't think we know of one that will ship.
I don't think they exist currently. This is something I was talking with Professor Seafried about. But we can get into this. Yeah, I think we can access this chat from your YouTube channel. So I think let's bail out, get onto the good one, and I will see you in 2 minutes.
Yeah, give us 2 minutes, guys.
See you all soon.